This is Pandora, where hundreds of different animals live together in harmony. But today, the creator is adding in an apex predator. Will they thrive or will they die?
This is Pandora, my 1,000-gallon cloud rainforest vivarium. It took a week to build, months of pre-planning, and a lifetime to dream about.
This guy is so much better than National Geographic.
I created it to study what life is like for ants and other animals out in the wild, to uncover their roles within an ecosystem. And so far, it's been an insane ride of discovery that has only just begun. Last week
the lizard
marked the dawn
died.
of an event called Gaia, the Great Animal Integration Advent.
Yes.
Where
Haven't like a lot of insects already died in there?
That's nature, baby.
A few.
There's like a bunch of beetles that drowned, grasshoppers being eaten, lizards dying of starvation, and now he's gonna add in an apex predator, which is just going to increase the deaths by a lot.
That's fine. That's how it works. That's what I learned in The Lion King. It's all about the circle
of life.
an initial team of animals and creatures into Pandora, who proceeded to settle into the forest, breed, and occupy their respective niches. But that team of creatures was only the first batch of colonizers. There was still a major player missing from this ecosystem.
The apex predator.
Oh
my God!
It's a
papi!
There he is.
Is that a wolf
no
spider?
Other creature in the ecosystem
Might be.
eats.
Or maybe it's a brown
Finally
recluse.
come to add that apex predator to patrol Pandora and do its important work at controlling populations of prey animals within.
It's about to go
approached Pandora
crazy.
with my chosen apex predator and proceeded to release it into the vivarium. But nothing could have prepared me for the insane chain of
Oh my
events
gosh,
that would
it's gonna
follow
go crazy.
the release of this apex
Wow,
beast
caterpillars.
Change everything
into
right
our
now. Come on.
rainforest. Welcome
There's
to the
caterpillars in
craziest
there.
story of what
What the-
happened when I released
what
an
even is
apex
that?
predator into my giant rainforest vivarium. Part 7 of my Ecosystem Vivarium series, here on the Ants Canada Ant Channel.
Here we
If
go.
that is a brown recluse, that is one of the most dangerous spiders in the entire world.
I gotta get my nuts.
Oh,
Literally
here we go.
one bite of it
My heart
can
was racing
end humans.
as I laid its container
What is
down
that?
onto the soil. Come out, my beloved beast.
What kind of
Welcome to
spider
your
is
new
that?
home. The beast remained in its shadowy container,
This is
unwilling to
terrifying.
come out.
This is like putting the
hello?
Demogorgon in a group of
It's
people.
okay. You can come
It's a
out.
little scared.
He'll be out anytime, guys.
He should not be
This
scared.
was
It's
Adam as a
camera
baby.
shy.
Okay.
Is it
Maybe
dead?
not.
Uh-oh.
Maybe
Our
it's
beast was a
nocturnal.
bit shy, refusing to step out into the light.
Did he
I
put
could kind of
coals
see
into
him
the
moving around
container?
and checking out the
It
new
looks like a
environment
snake.
and smells.
Oh.
But
it's a
still
snake.
no desire to emerge.
Oh.
These were actually
It wasn't a
great
spider this
walking
whole
instincts.
time?
After
yet.
a good 20 minutes of waiting, I decided to gently tip his container a bit.
It makes more sense
and
that it would be a
slid out,
snake.
Then instantly jetted away under some
Whoa.
driftwood
Whoa.
before I could catch sight
Wait.
of him.
Is it a
Darn,
corn snake?
I was really
They're pretty
hoping for a
fast.
much more clear view of him entering his new kingdom. But no
I
worries.
think it's a grape snake.
I knew we would catch him out in the open soon.
He's gotta
And I know
eat.
you guys will totally love him. I bet he was probably enjoying the abundance of prey insects and roaches in those shadows.
Yep.
Roaches happen to be his
I would.
favorite food.
He probably just had a buffet down there, just eating a
Wow.
bunch of little buggies.
Two
Oh,
young
spider
roach
time.
nymphs lay struggling on their backs.
They're
trying to
so
light
dumb, they can't
themselves
even
up,
flip over.
It's Caleb. What are you
having
doing?
fallen into a
POV,
strange
you're me in the
place.
morning.
Oh no!
It's a circle of life.
Awoke a sleeping monster nearby.
Oh my
And
God.
using teamwork, they flipped themselves over, using each
What?
other's
They can
bodies.
do that?
Yeah,
One
teamwork
roach
makes
They're
the
so
dream work.
smart.
They're like,
While
yeah,
the
we
other
did it, we're gonna be
decided to
good.
wander
They
their
like
new
high five,
location.
start kissing. What?
And then,
What a strange place, the roach thought. I wonder what great things we can find here. The roach
Not much.
particularly loved the moist floor.
Get out of there,
and began
man.
to lick up the wetness to hydrate. For a while, the
You're
roach
dead.
continued to waddle around to drink and explore. Should I go this way?
no.
No.
He's literally just
Doesn't
making
smell
himself
right.
more juicy by drinking
roach
the water.
eventually joined its sibling
the spider.
within the shadows of some moistened paper towel.
That is
Hey, bro,
incredibly
isn't
scary.
this place
That is
weird?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, super weird.
The spider looks like a
Lady
tree.
Deathstrike, my female
blends
huntsman
in.
giant, waited patiently in the
Dude.
shadows.
A huntsman
Patience
spider.
was her talent, and she had waited almost 2 weeks to feed. Another few moments would be a total breeze. But little
That
did
is a
she
scary
know,
name.
she was going to be a very important player in an incredible world she would soon be living in.
So is that how most spiders attack? They're completely still, then they just wait for the victims to come to them and just go.
Yeah, most of the time. I'm pretty sure they're ambush predators. But I wonder if the spider and the snake will get along. Usually you don't think about them ever fighting, but it's a kind of tiny enclosure when you think about it. Eventually, they're gonna cross paths. And I've never seen a spider cross paths with a snake like that.
I think it's gonna be one of those things where they're both apex predators, so they're just gonna respect each other and just like go on their way.
Yeah, they'll be chill. I think they'll be chill with each other. They might even team up. They might even team up and start just eating everything.
It would be insane if they
bros.
fought. I don't know who would win that.
Yeah.
I think the spider or the snake wins that. But I still don't know that much about. I don't even know what snake it is. We didn't even get to see it
what
really.
are you talking about?
It's a black shadow snake so far.
I feel like snakes eat spiders more than spiders eat snakes. So I'm going snake.
All right.
Comment down below.
Where is our predator? I searched Pandora's rainforest floor. He could literally be anywhere, but I trusted he would emerge on his own terms.
Oh, I see him. I see
I
him.
was right.
Where is little
But
Adam?
meanwhile,
I actually see
took
him.
notice
No,
that
you
the marauder
don't.
ants that used to dominate these lands were now nowhere to be seen.
Uh-oh.
They used to be seen trailing the wood of the Hallelujah tree stump, but now, nothing. All their
Where'd they
regular
go?
foraging trails had been
They're
deserted.
probably eating that grasshopper.
Interesting.
From
Well,
last episode,
I
yeah.
figured it was nothing to worry about, seeing as over the past week, the marauder ants had consumed a cricket, a grasshopper,
Oh my
and
gosh.
even an entire house gecko. As
Oh,
seen in
yeah.
the
I
They
forgot
first
about the
episode.
gecko.
They
No,
were
not the
probably
gecko.
satiated and resting inside the tree stump. But I told myself I'd stay vigilant because the colony of invasive black crazy ants had also recently moved into the tree stump, and who knows what could be happening within the shared stump.
That is
I
dangerous.
They're
couldn't
planning an
see.
attack.
But other than that,
Preparing for
I had
war.
noticed that Pandora was a wonderful biological world now.
It's crazy that if you were to just stand there and look at it from a distance, like you can't see anything. You would think that it's just empty, but there's a whole war going down microscopically.
That's why whenever you're out in nature, if you want to see something happen, just stay really still for like 10 minutes and then stuff will start to move around. Or better yet, you'll start noticing little changes and then you can pick up on like a little toad, a squirrel, Alec pooping in the distance. You're going to see it all.
Is that what you do, Jack, in the forest?
Sometimes
Do you eat nuts there too?
I can't stop.
Of thriving life in all corners of the rainforest. A movement in the leaves caught my eye. What is that tiny thing? As soon as I saw the protruding Searchy,
He did.
I
What
shouted in delight.
Cricket?
It was a newly hatched baby cricket.
Whoa!
Awesome. The baby crickets were now emerging from
I've
the egg
never
bed
seen
I
a baby
planted
cricket in my
during
life.
Gaia. And how cute they were. They were
Wow.
tiny
Until
versions
now.
of their parents, whom by now were all dead from either being
Oh my
drowned
God. Oh my
in
God.
Pandora's pond.
Yo!
I
Above
told you they all drowned.
Why do you say that with a
They were
smile?
seen wandering
That
through
was so
areas
giddy.
of
Cute to
Pandora
deadly.
now, including the mosses. This baby took a nibble from the moss.
He has no idea his
which
entire
totally
family got
reminded me
murdered.
of their parents, who also loved to munch
Aw.
on moss.
Oh my
Before
gosh.
they
But it was
died.
imperative that these baby crickets learn about the world as quickly as they could.
Isn't that crazy how animals in the wild just have instincts and are able to survive on their own without anyone teaching them anything? They can just go out and survive.
It's like how ducks are born and they just know how to swim. Nobody had to teach them.
Same thing with me.
Like, humans are useless, bro. We get pooped out and then we would all die if we didn't have our mother's care.
We're like
Are we
big,
the only-
giant amoebas.
We're
We're useless.
No, hippos need that too.
Oh yeah, no, there's a couple animals that are like that.
Lots
like
of animals.
dogs.
A lot of mammals,
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
guess.
mammals.
Yeah, mammals. Mammals are useless once they're born.
Yeah.
Because Pandora was more than just a place of cool leaves and mosses. I noticed another baby cricket lying on its back, having just been freshly killed. Poor little
Aw.
one.
What?
Why who?
This baby cricket
He looks like
nearby
he's ready to be in the
lay
coffin.
frozen in its spot
What
as a
happened?
black crazy ant went zipping by, carrying the
I'm
newly
crazy,
killed
I'm
baby
crazy.
cricket it had sprayed with formic acid. These lands, though abundant, were also dangerous for the crickets. A lesson they would need to learn quickly. Speaking of babies, though,
I feel like, bro, how are they supposed to learn that lesson? That's not like I dropped this glass. Oh, I'm not gonna do that again. That was bad. It's like you die if you make one wrong turn in Pandora.
That's Mother
Maybe
Nature.
when they respawn, they'll learn.
This is not PvP Civ, Adam. Nobody respawns.
here was the baby grasshopper we've been following for 2 weeks
Yay.
now. He's a lot bigger. and
Wow.
growing quite fast.
Oh my gosh,
It seems he
just
has
like
learned the
me.
necessary life skills to thrive
Yeah.
and survive Pandora's rules of survival.
He's doing so good.
Some creatures that definitely weren't afraid of predation
I am a leaf.
going about their business out in the open.
That's all he's thinking.
included this young millipede
Leaf
who
jutsu.
actually possessed
No, I
hydrochloric
hate those.
acid
Oh,
and hydrogen
I
cyanide.
hate
We gotta
that.
prank
This baby
Alec with one of
snail,
those things
mimicking
when
a
he's
tiny
sleeping.
pebble against the
Or a
glass.
million of them.
And
Yeah.
these pretty creatures,
That'd be
the
hilarious.
metallic emerald cockroaches, whom I always saw frequenting the vines around Pandora.
Just
They
hanging
loved
around.
chewing on the vine skin. I couldn't get over how beautiful these roaches were, as they
Dude, he
mimicked
keeps saying
inedible
it.
beetles,
It's a
giving them
beetle.
the confidence to be so out there. This is a classic example of Batesian mimicry,
What?
where one organism imitates the appearance of another to avoid predation.
Wait, what?
No predator would bother swallowing a hard-to-eat and likely foul-tasting beetle.
What?
The roaches
interesting.
have the last laugh.
Oh,
These ones
it's a
anyway.
roach, not a
They're so smart. That's like when Adam covers himself in dirt.
Yeah, I blend in with the environment. People just think I'm a piece of dirt. Who would eat dirt? It has no nutrition. You guys aren't thinking about these things.
You do that.
Unless a bunch of earthworms come around.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that's right.
Crouched quietly behind the wet paper towel.
Oh, we're back
Lady
to the spider.
Deathstrike began to wonder if her senses were accurate. She
That
could have
is a
sworn
nightmare.
there was food
That is so
crawling around.
scary.
I can't
Hang
look.
on.
Oh,
She began to feast.
By the way you're
The roach should
making
have remained
sounds,
with its
it did
sibling
not
at the paper
seem
towel.
good.
No,
Just
it's
imagine
not
that
good.
thing is
The
like
roach's
20
fate
feet
had
tall.
been sealed.
We're
You
all
can open
dead.
now, Jack.
Nonchalantly began to inject her lethal cocktail of
Gotcha.
cytotoxins, which help break down the roach's tissues, and neurotoxins,
Jack's the cockroach
which
right now.
attack the
Why?
roach's
It's literally
nervous
eating
system.
his butt cheeks.
Fortunately, her bite isn't harmful to humans.
Is
But
it
for
gone?
this roach, it is being paralyzed and broken down from the
Oh
inside
my
out.
gosh, my
Another
insides.
spider
My
meal.
insides, man.
Oh, flip.
Look at its pincers,
Times
bro.
Both roaches now.
Oh,
in her
it
grasp.
got both.
It too had
My
decided
gosh,
to wander
bro,
away
it's
from
eating a
the
full
paper
Big
towel.
in
Mac.
its mouth at
She
once.
It got the
can't even eat all
BK
that.
4 for
Oh
4.
my
And with her
God.
long, dexterous arms, she played soccer with it for a bit before picking it back up to relish.
Don't play with
Two
your food.
delicious roaches
Ugh.
embrace. The newly
They're still
caught roach
alive.
tried its best
Is
to
it just
slip away,
sucking his blood?
but you can't slip
Yes.
away from Lady
Oh
Deathstrike.
my God.
She was hungry.
Oh my
Watching
gosh,
spiders
that's so
eat
gross.
always
Goalie.
inspired a huge degree of respect, mixed in with a dash of fright. Predators, as fun as it is to watch them feed, are no playground. But other
like
than
it.
nourishing her, there was an important purpose to providing her this double roach meal. As she began to wrap her food in silk, another huntsman, a male, had secretly been placed into her holding container.
No.
as
He's
well.
so tiny.
This was Kira,
Oh.
and he had been sent to this place to fulfill
I'm
his
here.
ultimate life purpose. The next move would now be
What is his purpose?
He's just watching her eat, bro.
I
Oh,
think
he's
we
been there
all
the
know
whole
what's about
time.
to go down. We all know what's about to go down.
Yeah, munch on them roaches, girl. Yes. Yeah.
He's liking what he's saying.
I
and he's about to go in.
my girls big.
Well, I'm pretty sure like female spiders are always way bigger than the male spiders. They're into their women being big.
And sometimes the female will eat the male.
Huh? Is
That's
that his
how
only
black
purpose then?
widows work.
So they're gonna breed and then the female is gonna eat the male.
Precisely, baby.
and the setup was perfectly executed. Lady Deathstrike was now
Oh, she is
busy
so
with her
Getting pooped
mindset
on.
feeding on her delicious
What is he about to
roaches.
do?
He might
He's
steal
waiting
the
for his
food.
time.
Oh my gosh, bro, this is like Alec in the forest.
This
Ready
is-
to pounce.
This is Alec at 3 a.m. at a Wendy's.
This is actually how Alec met his girlfriend.
So I knew our new apex predator would eventually come out, and I knew exactly where. Right at the Hallelujah tree stump. And the reason
Hallelujah.
was because just above the
Hallelujah.
stump were the UV and heat lamps, which our predator needed to warm up and soak up the necessary light wavelengths. And after just a few hours of him settling in to Pandora, I could see evidence of his presence. Look. Poop.
Oh.
And what I found amazing was the living creatures it attracted.
I was not expecting
Mites,
him to say that.
springtails, microscopic beetles,
Oh.
flies, and other creatures were having a total
Poop
feast
eater.
on these feces.
Poop
It's
eater.
amazing how one creature's
Kinda
waste
looks
can
like,
be other
whipped
creature's
cream.
buffet. The
Poop
creatures
eater.
will help break down this
That is
poop
so
and
gross.
create excellent
Dude.
fertilizer for all the plants growing around the rainforest.
Ugh.
I couldn't
Nasty.
believe
I was trying to think if there's anything that humans eat like that. The only thing I could think of is milk, you know? Like we tend the udders of cows and then we drink that.
Yeah?
Like other animals would probably look at us and be like, you freaks, that's disgusting.
Some people put mayonnaise on their hot dogs. I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
That's it, that's all.
Some people put almond milk in their Cocoa Pebbles. Crazy.
Well, that's not that weird,
That's
I
really
feel.
not even that. That's pretty normal.
No, that's pretty, yeah.
In terms of soil creatures, for this biological niche, we definitely had a healthy soil ecosystem in Pandora.
Yes!
To further build on the health of Pandora's ecosystem, I continued to add more
The
and more
heck?
creatures into the vivarium.
Yeah,
as
it's
healthy
I caught
system.
them. I found this cute caterpillar and released it
That's
into
actually
Pandora.
sick.
It slipped
Imagine
around
there's a butterfly
and
in there.
So you
no,
like
I'm not even
caterpillars?
kidding.
I'm sorry, I never heard one of the boys like see a caterpillar and they're like, bro, you're never gonna believe, bro, this caterpillar was freaking sick. This
Oh my
caterpillar
gosh,
was
Stop.
freaking sick, dude.
No.
You're never gonna believe the way that
Stop.
it inched. Sick.
Don't call me out like that. Look, all right? Imagine it turns into a butterfly and you got a butterfly flying around in there.
Little butterfly
That'd be
fairy
amazing.
going around.
Dude, you're never gonna believe I saw the most beautiful, gorgeous butterfly, dude.
All right, you know what? I hate it. I hope this caterpillar dies.
explored the vast lands.
Nah, it'd be kind of cute. You're right.
I like the way it moves.
My. Now where are we? It thought in
Kinda
plural
reminds me of
as
something.
it waved its head around at the smell of
He's
new
doing the
plants
worm.
it could chew up. Not sure if this caterpillar would survive Pandora, but we'll
He
see.
is dead for
It
sure.
eventually took a nap, high
He
up
is
in
an
the vines.
adventurous
Ooh,
little
cocoon,
guy.
cocoon.
I also released some fruit flies.
No.
No.
A meeting pair of
You
houseflies.
idiot.
Oh, I have those
You
in my
idiot.
room.
He must have released these in our house too. They're
Yeah, I have those in my
everywhere.
bedroom. I can't even sleep at night because
It's
they're flying
Canada. What are you
around.
doing? They put those fruit flies back. It could be a serious problem.
Nobody should unleash fruit flies ever.
My plan was to continue building on Pandora's fauna
Why is it so
profile,
hairy?
like this, until prey insects were surviving enough to actually breed within the vivarium. It would take some time, but I knew we'd eventually get there. My eyes then moved over to the other side of Pandora.
Dang, go
where I
ahead.
caught
Those
sight
legs
Those are kind
there.
of
of
cute.
Lady Katie,
Hey,
our brown-leafed katydid,
close
which I
those
recently
legs.
discovered is
Katy
actually
leg.
a type of bush cricket. It was funny to
Bush
see
cricket.
her out and about at this time of the day, because usually she's
ahead,
hidden
Lady Katy.
behind the moss wall where she sleeps until
Cool.
nighttime when she wakes. But here she was out in broad daylight. I wondered why. Little did I know, I would soon
Those are-
find out that she had been unwillingly awoken and forced to leave her bed of mosses.
By this
And that the
snake?
reason was moving in the bush cricket's bushes. Oh, well, there you are.
Finally, we're
I
gonna
didn't
see this
expect
thing.
you to be all the way up there. It was our
Mr.
apex
Predator.
predator, and I caught it, peeking out its head to spy on me.
Oh, there it
Do you
is.
see it?
Whoa.
It's
Is that a
okay, my
lizard?
friend. I
Might be a
won't
lizard.
hurt you. I
No,
don't
that's
even
gotta
think
be
it
a
knew
I
I
think
could
it's a
see it.
snake. I don't know.
But now that
I
I
think
knew
it's a
where it was
snake.
hanging out, I knew exactly what to do to make it feel more at home and come out into the light. Suddenly, the rains blew through, and it retreated back.
He's just spraying
deeper
it with
into the
water,
bush.
so it
Now,
What does he mean suddenly? Isn't he God? Doesn't he do everything?
might be on a time sensor. I don't know.
He just like walks over to the switch. Boom. Suddenly rain started.
Mysteriously.
Or it zooms out and he's got one of those like water sprayers. Suddenly, I don't know how this happened.
Suddenly just water everywhere.
It's him just butt naked up there.
Whoa! Whoa!
like an important key move.
That stick is jiggling like crazy.
Now I can't stop
Back
thinking
at the
about it.
huntsman holding container, something
dang.
totally crazy had occurred.
Not another
The
apex
spiders
predator.
had come in contact
Oh,
with each
oh,
other.
oh.
Say
And
what?
it seemed as though Kiro had killed Lady Deathstrike. He stood above her body and looked as though he was now feeding. This was not what he was supposed to do.
Oh
and
my
not
God.
part of the grand plan. But turns
Okay, but
out
what did she do?
we may have underestimated Kiro's competence to successfully execute this ultimate purpose. Look, Lady Deathstrike was still eating, and Kiro's fangs were not sunken into her back like it first appeared.
Oh,
Lady Deathstrike was alive.
he just wanted
In fact,
the food?
Kiro was
She's
doing
chilling.
something much more important than eating.
Oh, they
What?
mating?
Oh.
He massaged his pedipalpi.
Is it getting it
He was
all?
hyper-focused
His
at the task at
pedipalpi.
hand. These huntsmen were mating.
Oh.
And if you've never
Go
seen spiders
ahead!
mate before,
Go
Okay. What is up with Ants Canada? Why did Ants Canada just like tease me? He's like, oh, she's dead. She got killed. Oh, actually, they're making love. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
That is not love. That is not love.
Short kings matter.
I'm so confused.
He just
prepared to
surprise
be utterly
attacked her.
mind-blown.
I
I'm
thought it
glad
was the
roaches
birds and
I
the
provided
bees,
Lady
not the
Deathstrike
spider and the
had
spider.
successfully gotten Kiro safely to this stage of the breeding process. As many males at this point
Should I
fall
be
victim
watching
to
this?
their females before even getting here. She was properly distracted
Fall
now.
victim?
Now check out the incredible
He
mechanics
can only get her
of
when she's
huntsman spider
distracted by
reproduction.
eating.
like you've never
Genius.
seen before.
I
See
gotta
this
try
organ?
that one.
This is the male's embolus.
No.
Only male spiders have them at the end of each of their 2 pedipalpi, and they carry his
Their
sperm.
what?
When he was ready,
His pedipalpi.
he reached around,
Ew.
and his embolus would inflate like a balloon.
I don't
full
know
of
if I
his
wanna
little
watch this.
soldiers, which he would deposit into her genital openings using a sharp spur, which retracts.
This is not
once
what I learned in the
deposited.
6th grade.
I feel like
He
I'm
proceeds to
intruding.
massage the embolus.
Ah!
When ready, he switched over to the other side and repeats the process
No!
on the other genital opening of
Don't
the
do
woman.
that!
What?
And
What?
once done, proceeds again to massage his pedipalp.
This is how
Most people have
the
never
touch
seen
your
spider
pedipalp!
cycle of
mechanics
life
with such
works,
clarity.
guys.
And if that's you, well, you learn something new every day, right? Kiro
Yeah.
continued to do this.
I've never
back
seen
and
this
forth,
before.
massaging his pedipalpi
This is a
between
first.
sides.
Nothing like
As
watching
she
a
continued to
spider's
feed on her
pedipalpi with the
roaches.
boys.
The ultimate plan had worked so far. But
This
little
guy's
did
loving
Kiro
it.
This guy
know
is evil.
his true and ultimate
This
fate
guy's gonna start
had
touching
yet
his
to be
pedipalpi at
fulfilled.
this point.
Well,
the
yeah,
moment she
it's
finished her meal.
it's gonna go down.
His energy
I
was
think she's gonna
100%
kill him.
invested now in the passing on of his genes until he would no longer be able to move. The breeding process would continue for the next hour and a half. Before Kiro's ultimate and final destiny would be
Go
fulfilled.
ahead!
What
Hour and a
Pop
half.
off,
What
King.
the heck?
He's massaging his pedipalpi
What the?
for
I
an
don't-
hour and a
I
half.
don't ever
move
want to
the
hear
youth.
pedipalpi ever again. I don't know if I can comment on what I just saw.
He is kind of him.
Who is him? What are you saying?
I don't want to be a spider. I don't want to know about anything. I'm just gonna rewind.
Alec, if you mention the word pedipalpi after this video, I'm calling the cops.
So are we basically, we are now saying that this man watched them do that for an hour and a half.
He's there with his camera, like zooming in, getting different angles. Yeah, massage that pedipalpi.
Massage the pedipalpi. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, how did he know the exact time? That's a little strange.
They made love for an hour, 37 minutes, and 48 seconds.
I had to change batteries twice. But it was well worth it.
This is crazy. Ants Canada. I don't know how they do it in Canada, but that's crazy.
I think that should be illegal.
Lamb slightly towards the bushes, because this was where he was probably choosing to bask and also hide.
I gotta take
So,
5.
In order that he didn't have to travel too far from his hideout,
I gotta take an
I
hour
moved the
30.
UV and heat lamp a bit closer to the moss wall. Not directly over it so that it would burn the plants, but just near enough. If all goes well, our predator will emerge to bask. Now, as I was fixing the lights, I glanced at the banyan vines of the canopy, which we recently learned were alive, sending out air roots and
yeah.
leaf buds. The vines were actually shifting position now and detaching at certain parts, like an ultra slow-mo moving creature with a mind of its own. But being up in the canopy, I noticed something truly spectacular. Have a look.
Grasshopper.
Ants.
Oh.
But these ants
Oh.
were not marauder ants, nor were they black crazy ants.
Oh
nor
my
were
God,
they the
there's
dwarf
another
ants
one?
we spotted
New
in the
ant
previous
species.
episode.
How
And
many
not
are
the
there?
first giant trapjaw ants either.
What other
These
kind of ants are there?
Were acrobat ants from the
The
genus
heck?
Chromatogaster.
That's a good name
Can I
for
do
them.
backflips? What?
Chromatogaster in here too. My only guess was that they were transported into the tank through the vines. And sure enough, looking back
Wow.
at previous episodes
Wow.
of ants running on the vines, I failed to realize that they had been here since day one. How insane
Really?
that a 6th species of ant was actually residing in Pandora. And even more amazing, since the vines were collected from my neighborhood, these acrobat ants were likely the possibly undescribed species we may have actually been the first in the world to discover. The
No
results of which
way.
we are
What?
still awaiting. How cool, right?
Oh,
If
so
this
he
is a
named
new
them the
species of
acrobat
ant,
ants.
Let's call them Chromatogaster pandori. Anyway, just 10
Cool.
minutes later, after
What-
moving
what
the
a
lights
beast.
around,
There he is. There he is.
I thought that was a fish.
there he was.
That's not a
Our
fish.
golden
They need
dragon.
water,
It's a
Alec.
lizard.
Emerging to bask.
That's a
That's
land
definitely
fish.
a snake.
He's a
He
sunskink.
has
The
legs.
same
Oh.
sunskink from part 2 of the series.
Oh.
Collected from the forest edge in my yard. Isn't he stunning?
Oh.
And my, has he grown. A fly came
thought for
whizzing
sure
by,
that'd be a snake.
and he attempted to catch it, but it left before he could strike.
Good try, bud. Try
What an
again.
avid
Yeah.
hunter he was. Pandora's
He is
current
trash.
He's
apex
still
predator.
staring at it. He's
The
like
ants
so
traveling the
mad.
vines didn't bother him.
He
as
does
there
look
was no
angry.
penetrating those tough dragon scales. When I tried to get a closer look at him, he disappeared back into the bushes. He was still a bit shy, but little did I know, we would soon be making an official deal together. which would make all the difference in the world.
Really?
By
What kind of deal?
They got some satanic deal going on or something. I don't know.
I think they're just gonna add in another skink, right? At some point. That's the deal.
That's probably the deal.
Like, hey, you give me good content, I'll get you a girlfriend, sort of thing.
This guy does love filming that stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And we love watching.
caught sight of our golden dragon's sidekick. See her? It was our resident house gecko.
Oh, it's petty puppy
Up
time.
early to begin
Heyo.
hunting. She
No,
had lived
no,
here
no.
now for about a week and was also looking pretty fat.
What the?
Looks like she had eaten a
Hey,
good
yo,
amount of prey insects.
Dang.
I was happy to
That's
know
where the
our
marauder
gecko
ants
was
went.
doing well.
She not
Yeah.
fat,
Unlike
she
the gecko
thick.
before her.
Oh.
House geckos are usually very hardy little
She got that
buggers.
yeah.
I catch them
Bro,
running
what are
around
you?
my
It's
home.
a gecko.
And speaking of which, some of you
It's a
guys may be
gecko.
wondering,
I didn't know you
where
were
in
down
tropical
bad that
Canada
much.
Is my
I
home,
am. It's getting
that
real
I'm
bad.
able to catch all these lizards and such. Well, I was born and raised in Toronto, but moved out to tropical Southeast Asia 12 years ago, where I ended up staying. And by then,
Okay.
AntsCanada.com had already been trademarked and the channel already established. So I kept the name Ants Canada.
All
No
right.
matter where I'm based, I'm still Canadian. It had been 2 hours
Okay.
since the spiders. had
All
begun
right.
to
Little
release.
fun fact.
Sweet.
Thank you, Ants
That was
Canada.
good.
Go ahead,
Came back to
Canada.
the
Go
holding
ahead.
container.
I feel like I just made a connection with him.
We
No!
are now 3 hours in.
Was on top.
Oh,
And sadly,
God.
Kiro's ultimate fate had been sealed.
He did it.
Lady Deathstrike had finished her roaches, now a crumpled ball at the bottom of the tank.
Ew.
She's like
and
a
was
garbage
feasting
compactor.
On Kiro. I was a bit traumatized at the sight of watching Lady Deathstrike consuming her former lover.
Wow.
But inside I knew this was all part of Huntsman
That's
life.
the
That is
cycle of
Kiro
life.
had
insane.
spent every last bit of energy he had left to breed with Lady Deathstrike, and at the end, was pretty much unable to move or defend himself. Female huntsman spiders, like in many spider species, eat the males after mating. In doing so, it further provides the female
messed up,
extra
bro.
nourishment for the difficult
Wow.
and
That's like
demanding
paying child
upcoming
support.
Free my
task
man.
of producing
Free
an
my
egg
man.
sac, during which time she will be 100% focused on laying eggs and nothing much else.
I'm so
After
glad not
Kiro
to be a
had given up
spider
his
right now.
genes during the mating process, he went on to give
I'd be
up
fine being a
his
spider.
very
No
life
problem for me.
in order to nourish his lover.
I'd be
and
alive and
provide
well.
her the best chances for the bringing of their future children
Wow.
into existence.
How many kids do
Though
they
my
have?
human mind
think
couldn't
thousands.
readily swallow all this,
Hundreds.
I knew inside that this was the honorable huntsman way and how it's been for them for
that's
millions
sad.
of years.
Good job,
Lady
big guy.
Deathstrike
Poor
began
little
to
guy.
wrap Kiro in more silk. She was soon going to be ready to be relocated.
She's a
to
bully.
her next very special
She's dancing on him.
location.
She had a fantastic time in that tiny container.
Yeah, so many things
I
happen
marveled
in a
at the beauty
4x4
of
box.
Pandora at night as the mist
4x4
blew through.
inches.
Pandora truly transforms every time night falls. It's almost ethereal. Have a look.
Okay.
I want that lizard to come back out and just start feasting.
I do like it here. This is very peaceful.
It makes me feel good inside.
I feel like I want to shrink down and try to live in
The
there.
next apex predator they add will be me.
You just have a temper tantrum in there.
I think I could beat up most of those things.
I can see you
Adam
going in there and
versus-
just start spinning
The
in
full moon was
circles.
out, and so were
Ramming
all
everything.
Pandora's awesome nighttime
I'd be
creatures.
basking in the sun.
Whoa. Dude, it looks like the
Lady
moon.
Katie was out looking for vegetation to feed on. Isopods were emerging to forage the forest floor
Whoa.
for decayed leaves and
they
organic
glowing?
matter, and all the roaches were now out to play. The emergence of all the prey animals was a literal feast for our gecko, who
Cool.
scaled upside down along the canopy, hunting for insects. I truly
Genius.
loved watching her hunt, and couldn't wait to add more house geckos to join her, as these lizards usually live in social groups.
We'll turn
often
from a
seen
house
hunting
gecko
together.
to a
It
home
was
gecko.
then that I spotted a trail
Uh-oh.
of black crazy ants, hot in action. I'm crazy! They excitedly raced along the back of the Hallelujah tree stump.
I think they're gonna make their move and take out the marauders. Now's the time.
Yes.
We
I
haven't seen the
think
marauders in days.
If we were all ants, Jack would be a black crazy ant, Adam would be a marauder ant, and I would be a fire ant.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that fair?
Yeah,
Cool.
agreed.
Yeah,
Alright,
no,
cool.
agreed.
What were these black crazy ants up to? I followed their trail and noticed they were moving to and from a central
They're
hole
so
in the
quick.
stump. How peculiar.
Oh my
They
god.
usually moved into
That's
the
Look
top
at
danger
of the
zip
zone.
stump
around.
last week, but we're now seen emerging from the center of it.
That's right where the
It
marauders
was
are.
quite the labyrinth inside
Look at that
stump.
stumpy.
And
They,
it was
like,
a bit
teleport.
concerning to know that I couldn't actually see what was going on inside it. For all
those-
I
Get a
knew, there was
GoPro
a
in
giant
there.
ant
Yeah, put a
war
little camera in
happening
there.
within it. And that's why I hadn't seen the marauders much in several days.
No!
There was also a colony of termites living in there, as well as who knows what else. It
No!
was also quite eye-opening to me to know how many species of animals can actually pack into a given space out in nature.
So there's an entire war going on that we can't even see.
Yep, it's like Horton Hears a Who.
Oh crap, I really hope the Marauders make it out. Is Jack about to wipe me out?
I didn't want to say it, but I think so, Adam. You might be on your last legs. But you got 6 of them, so you got a decent chance.
Thanks, Alec.
Me and my fire ants, we're still chilling underground, repopulating. That's what we're doing. But when we're ready, we're gonna come out and we're gonna wreak havoc and put flames all over this entire establishment and overthrow the government.
That is what fire ants do.
Believe yet that the black crazy ants were a danger to our marauders, but little did I know I would soon find out about the whereabouts of our marauders.
Come on!
As well as lay my eyes.
Where is
on
Adam?
Hopefully they have a
totally
backdoor exit.
horrifying in Pandora. The
Fortify.
next moment.
You would have a backdoor exit, Adam.
We always
And a
do.
backdoor
We
entrance.
always do.
Gosh,
An earthworm. It had been split
No.
in half
Dead?
and was dying now. The other
Who
half
killed
was
it?
here. It looks like something had ripped it apart and left it to die.
what?
It's gotta be the lizard.
Yuck. I hate worms.
But why?
And seeing a dead one split in half wasn't any better.
I can't believe he's
bet
most
our
disgusted by a
sunskin
worm.
did this and
It's
decided
still
to ditch
squirming.
the worm after killing it. Anyway,
Why?
the soil creatures or maybe the
He did it for
flies
fun.
will lay their maggots onto it.
What?
So I
Ugh.
left it there.
Sport killing?
In terms of
Ew.
the other earthworms placed into Pandora,
Ugh.
I could see evidence of them doing well. Their casts form mounds atop the soils, which were excellent fertilizer for Pandora's
Dude,
plants.
everybody's pooping in this.
I looked up to the bushes, and
I
there
could
was our
contribute
golden
to this
dragon,
thing.
basking again
What?
in the morning light.
There he is.
As I attempted to get closer to it, it decided, nope, I'm leaving, and it disappeared into the bushes.
Aw.
Just when I thought I had spoiled my chances, an idea came to me, and I pretended to walk away slowly. I waited on the other end of the room for it to come out.
He's being a
and
weirdo
sure
now.
enough, after 15 minutes,
He
our
stood there
dragon's
for
head
15
peeked
minutes.
out. Now was my chance. Instead of just walking up to the glass like I
Chance for
normally
what?
did, I moved slowly, watching the lizard's body language, preparing myself to stop at the slightest sign.
What
of
is
fear.
about to happen?
To my surprise,
This
I
is
got
like How to
pretty
Train Your
close
Dragon.
without
Yeah.
it disappearing.
All right, stick out your
back
hand.
into the
Stick out your
bushes.
hand.
Beloved golden dragon, welcome to Pandora. I am Ants Canada, your creator of worlds,
This is
and I
This is
mean
awesome.
no harm.
And I will film you making love later.
Now's his chance. He's got to go in.
Imagine the lizard's like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, I want the lizard's POV.
This weirdo out of here. This freak.
Is that God?
Listening. Out there, you have to
He's
worry
giving him
about
the stank
cobras,
eye.
pythons, egrets, and monitor lizards. And your next meal is never guaranteed.
Keep your tank
But here
top
in
on,
these
Ants
lands-
Canada.
I was just thinking, what if there's like a woman hanging from the ceiling and then she just drops on him?
Like in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, like
happened
how
with
the spider guy just did it.
I don't know why Jack's thinking that.
Sorry, yeah, I just got sidetracked.
Jack, this isn't your dreams, dude. Go back to dreaming.
Where no creature in this rainforest will be able to eat you. You
Skink.
will remain the apex beast
Stinky.
of these lands for as long as you show me signs that you're thriving in this kingdom I've made for you. For I
That's like
acknowledge
his
that you are
child.
not my pet.
He can't understand
But a
you, Ants
partner.
Canada.
To help me learn about the incredible world from which you come. So, feast on all the insects you like.
Oh my gosh.
Drink from the freshest of waters.
Oh my gosh.
And bask in your favorite
They're
spot, undisturbed.
This skink is
I
like
am your
Jesus.
friend.
This
Why
is
is he-
one long monologue here.
My
He's
cute
writing him a
lizard.
love letter.
I was surprised to see that he was more relaxed now. And at that, I began to back away slowly to show him that I was not a predator to eat him.
Wow.
Amazingly, in the following days, I
was
spotted
pretty
him
cool.
out a lot more. He was still very discreet and tried to move unseen. But I was able to catch him foraging the rainforest floor. As
Gotcha.
well as attempting to take on some of the larger prey insects.
What?
Go
like
ahead.
our slant-faced grasshopper.
How
Don't
does
do
he
it.
ever see that thing?
Bam!
Oh, we got him.
And into the shadows of the driftwood.
And see ya.
Hilariously, though, I spotted the slant-faced grasshopper later that day,
Oh.
chilling on its favorite
I just
philodendron
ate
leaf,
it.
which meant our sunskink probably let it go when he realized it was way too big for him to swallow. As time
Poor
went
guy.
on, I
Just
continued to
faking.
improve Pandora
He just got
by
little
adding
Boyd.
new mosses, planting new plants, sowing new seeds, and adding more prey creatures and other fauna.
Oh,
Like
rhino
this
beetle.
gorgeous rhino beetle. I'll have to add pieces of fruit for him and the fruit flies as a periodic ecosystem event talked about in part 3. But while he is alive, He'll be great at digging new burrows every morning,
Let's
which
go.
can be used as hiding spots and homes for other creatures.
Is he gonna add the spider yet, or is it already added?
He did not.
No, it's
add
not
it
in there yet.
He's kind of like prepping it. He's waiting for her to lay all the eggs. Then maybe throw in there.
Probably. I hope that she lays the eggs in there though. That'd be way cooler. But I'm pretty sure, like we said, they lay like hundreds or thousands of eggs, and I can't imagine that hundreds of those spiders would do well in such a small enclosure.
Most of them will probably get eaten by the Jesus skink.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That would need to happen, or else there would be a lot of havoc going on in there.
But I think he actually might want that.
I think ants eat spider eggs too, so they could just be eating the eggs maybe.
I don't know, maybe.
I can't wait to see it. Unleash the babies.
Even managed to catch another house gecko from my kitchen.
Caught it?
And
He's
released it
catching them from
into
outside
Pandora.
and bringing them in
It
here.
immediately
That is
hopped
brutal,
in.
dude.
I watched her flick off a few curious black crazy ants.
I would hate to be that
which I'm
gecko.
sure she's used to, especially
Where
these
am I?
annoying ones, which share her niche. She then dashed away to begin exploring her new
Whoa.
kingdom,
GG's.
which was big. Oh, so big. And it smelled like prey was everywhere. She will eventually run into the other house gecko and may even try to mate with her, as
No
these
way.
parthenogenic
Alec was
lizards
right.
do. And
No
this would
way.
stimulate one or both house geckos to produce eggs.
Both?
Hope it won't be long before we start seeing baby geckos.
How is that
running
even
around.
possible?
I'll keep my eye out for the egg clutches.
2024,
And about
Adam.
the ants. To my delight,
I don't
the
question
marauder ants
anymore.
were seen beginning to emerge again from their regular place in the Hallelujah tree stump.
Yeah,
and
we
eating
still
the
running.
top of the stump, strangely. Okay, not sure what's going on, but guess the colonies within are moving around in the stump's inner labyrinth. I'll continue to keep an eye on the ants for any signs of an ant war happening. Especially
Okay.
because now we've discovered yet another species of ant in the Pandoran mix.
The acrobats.
For those of you wondering about the whereabouts of the invasive fire ants
Ooh,
from
Alec,
part
Alec.
5, I suspect they're underground still and alive because I
We've been
noticed
gone
one
for
of
a
their
while.
mounds had an open entrance.
Yo,
And
let's
trust me, I've been
go!
checking that
Dude, we are
entrance
cooking down
every
there.
day for fire
Come
ants.
I don't even
on.
want
I
to
don't think
know
you're
what's
cooking.
But I've
happening
not
down
seen
there.
any.
There's literally a
I'll keep
whole
you all
fire
posted.
army.
How many ants do
I
you
do
have
not
right now?
want to know.
We have
And
thousands,
as for
bro.
the giant trapjaw ant queen from the last episode, I checked up on her, and she's still alive and caring for her young, probably capturing
That's
some
gonna be
baby
dangerous.
crickets to feed them. It had been another insane week in Pandora, and now that we had our apex predator patrolling the ground by day, and our house geckos hunting in the canopy at night, I felt our rainforest ecosystem on land was much more complete now. But AC family,
Wow.
there was still a part of Pandora that was lacking.
Bum, bum.
Now that Pandora's
boy.
land portion was
Let's go.
populated with life, the underground cave water system at the foot of the springs was still pretty lifeless. Aside from this,
Oh,
the waters
aquatic
were a death
animals,
trap
baby!
for insects like crickets, and I needed creatures.
Oh, yeah,
to
he said he
feed
was gonna
on
put
their
fish in
bodies,
there.
so they wouldn't
Like
completely
piranhas
foul
or
up the
something.
waters. Which
Well, they
brought
gotta be tiny,
hydration
'cause
to
there's not too much
many ants and
water.
creatures. Now, I had allowed for the filter of these waters within the rocks to cycle and build up its necessary bacteria over the past several weeks. To be able to support the aquatic animals I had in mind to live within these
This is
waters.
gonna open up so
It's
many
gotta be something
possibilities.
tiny.
Family, the time had come.
Something
to
tiny that
finally
eats
populate
bacteria.
Pandora's
A frog? A
amazing
snail?
aquatic
Frogs,
world
snails,
with as
sharks,
well.
crocodiles.
This
Oh,
is
frogs.
Okay, it's a
be
frog.
fun.
Yep.
Froggies! Oh no way! He ended it.
Oh my gosh, come on.
I can't believe this
This
guy.
series is amazing.
And if you guys do enjoy and want to see more, smash like and click right here.